Hello and welcome to this video. Last time I said you should not begin analyzing your chances of being scheduled for interview in the diversity visa program by first considering your case number. I said instead there's a method that is more appropriate that applies in the current context of the diversity visa program. Now, in today's video, I will be elaborating more on that method, and in addition to that, I will also be sharing with you a number of realities concerning the diversity visa program that will help you understand why you should not begin by looking at your case number when you want to analyze your chances of being scheduled for interview. But before we go into that, let me just recap on what we said in the last video. And in the last video, I said that you should not begin analyzing your chances of being scheduled for interview in the diversity visa program by looking at your case number, as has been the case for several years. And the reason why I said that is because in recent time, things have changed. Things are no longer as they used to be in the past. And so I said you should begin by applying another method, which I refer to as your regional reality, or the reality of your region. In other words, how is your region dealt with in today's diversity visa program? So having said that, let's continue now into saying more about regional reality. Let me begin by sharing with you an example. The case number 10,000 in the Africa region has always been a low case number. And according to what you know, a low case number should have a high chance of being scheduled for interview in the diversity visa program. But as we speak, in the DV 2024 program, the case number 10,000 or case numbers in the vicinity of 10,000 that are assigned at some embassies, specifically the Accra, Ghana embassy, do not have a high chance of being scheduled for interview. On the other hand, more than 60,000 case number in the Africa region is considered or has been considered in the past as a high case number, meaning such case numbers should have low chances of being scheduled for interview in the diversity visa program. But again, as we speak, there are case numbers in the vicinity of 60,000, even more than 60,000, that are currently being scheduled for interview at a number of embassies across the Africa region. Having said that, what can we conclude? That leads us to conclude that low case numbers do not always have high chances of being scheduled for interview, and high case numbers do not always have low chances of being scheduled for interview. And that is what has led us to introducing this new method, this new concept, which has to do with the reality that exists in your region. Now, let me just say something that you may not be aware of. In the diversity visa program, one reality is that a lot of what we know, we got to know by simple observation. For example, the issue of case numbers that you are aware of, that in this region, this case number could be considered as a low case number, the other could be considered as a high case number. In this region, when you have this case number, then you have high chances of being scheduled for interview. If you have another case number, then your chances of being scheduled for interview are low. All of this we got to know by observing. The State Department did not explain all of that. In the same way that we observed for a number of years and saw the trend that existed, and we came up to establish what has become a norm, in that very same way, when there is a change in the diversity visa program, we can observe the new trend that has been established and say this is the existing norm. In other words, in recent years, certain trends have been observed across the different regions. It is those trends that you begin analyzing your chances by considering and not just your case number. In case those trends lead you to considering your case number, that is when you consider your case number. In case the trend of your region leads you to considering another factor, then it is that factor that you focus your attention on. So it is no longer only about case number. It is firstly about the reality of your region or your regional reality. When you proceed in such a way, at the end of the day, the outcome of your analysis is usually close to the reality. That is something that a lot of those who get selected in the diversity visa lottery do not know, they are not aware of, and so I thought it wise to share with you in this series of videos. Now, what I'm going to do in an upcoming video is to expose the different trends that have existed in the various regions in recent years. That will help to guide you when it comes to analyzing your chances of being scheduled for interview in the DV 2025 program. Now, before we end, in the last video, I shared with you a link that leads to one of my videos in which I explained about my guidance program and how I run this channel. In that video, I explained that I cannot cater to everyone, I cannot respond to all of your questions. So what I have done is I have created a guidance program for those who are in need of guidance and who can afford it. Yes, afford it, because there is a subscription fee to pay to be a member of my guidance program. So I'm going to leave the link to my guidance platform just below this video in case you are interested in becoming a member of my guidance program. And as I said, you can afford it. Then click on that link and join the program, or use the tools on the platform to acquire more information concerning the guidance program. So that is it. Remember to begin analyzing your chances of being scheduled for interview in the DV 2025 program by first considering the reality of your region. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it. See you, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.